They'll be deployed until Tuesday. They, at this stage, the indications are that they'll return home on Tuesday, but once again that's dependent on the weather that New South Wales get on Sunday and Monday. From Loddon Mallee region we've got 14 vehicles, that's 10 water tankers going, and then the rest are made up of support vehicles, and then we've got around about 60 volunteers that will be the crews for those vehicles once they get there. We received a lot of support from not only the interstate firefighters but from different countries as well, and it gives the guys in Victoria a little bit of a warm feeling that they can actually go and assist their counterparts in New South Wales, and these guys up there have been working, guys and girls have been working very hard up in New South Wales, and it's an opportunity for us to give them a bit of a break and give them a bit of relief.
Well, we've been doing it for a long time, Trev, haven't we?
Yeah, long time. This is my 50th year. Yeah, I've been to Sydney twice with Peter.
Yeah, 35 for me, and yeah, we've been up twice, and yeah, just what we do.
What we do, and it's nice to see the appreciation when you get up there as well.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're doing it tough up there. Lost 100 houses plus yesterday, so it's nice and quiet down here. Plenty of green grass here at the moment, so off we go.
Yeah. Just a member of CFA from Mandurang, come from Arundel, and up they need a bit of help, so we're heading up. They come down here when we need help, we go up there when they need it.
We're just on the way up to help the volunteers up there. They've been down here and helped us, know what the state's going through. It's a very Black Saturday, so we're seeing what we can do to help repay them and help them out.
End of the day, take care, look after yourselves, do Victoria proud, do District 2 proud, and give the poor people of New South Wales a break. So thank you again, and have a good, safe tour.
Breaker 19, this here's a rubber goose. You reading me, Blue? Yeah, mate, no David Murray's. It's clear right through to Glen Osmond. Yeah, no worries, Curl, Blue, Cobber, mate. Strike me, Pink. Looks like we've got ourselves a convoy. It was dark with a moon on the 6th of June and a Kenworth pulling Fredo Frog. We're heading down the Glen Osmond Road. We're not scared of the fun. We're heading along the Mount Barker Road about a mile out of Adelaide town. I said, Blue, this here's a rubber goose and I'm about to put the hook down. Cause we got a little convoy rolling through the night. We've got a little convoy, cheering with a full sight. my squad and Constable Worthy. Well, we said, what the heck, we'll break our neck with 4 screaming trucks and 11 Adelaide University students in a Volkswagen combi bus. Rubber Goose, you want to put the combi in behind the suicide jockey? Yeah, he's hauling manure and he needs all the help he can get. We got a little convoy well into the night. We've got a little convoy, it's a beautiful sight. Come on and join our convoy, nothing's gonna get in our way. We gotta roll this trucking convoy right across this side. Convoy, convoy, convoy.
No, it's been creeping and spreading out. Oh yeah. In every little direction. Yeah. And even where we.
Hi there, I'm Dave, and I want to tell you a story about how me and some mates from Cowra ended up becoming members of the CFA. How's that for a cracker? Well, we were cruising around Lithgow, and my mate Dan, he's on the radio and he's chatting to some bird called Tracy. She says they're heading up the mountains to do some burnouts. Gee, what lad can't resist that? Yeah, unfortunately Dennis got a bit confused. It wasn't burnouts, it was blackouts, but well, yeah, why not? We're up for anything, us lads.
Don't you hate roadblocks?
Ken must have some power. That bloke let us right through.
So wacko, we jumped in the crew behind the other lads in their trucks and off we went up the hill. Wouldn't you know, those lads' trucks, they really weren't built for climbing hills like we have our way. But anyway, she was all going fine until, what do you know, one lad missed a gear. Oh, lucky we had enough sense to pack a few sandwiches, because we could have been there all day. Little did we know that we're going to be not only all day, but all the next day as well. Stuff a crow.
Yeah, that's all burned, isn't it? All burned. All down this side. Not on the edge of the road, is it? Not right there, yeah. But I was coming through here and there was people. Might be around the corner here. So. Tough, right? Well, especially when it's hot. Yeah. Well, it doesn't take much when it's cold either.
Well, it was lucky we had Ken along with us. Ken's a bit of a bright lad, knows a thing about science or two, so they reckon. So he was able to give us a bit of a rum and commentary, about fire had been through the place. And gee, it was a bit black, a bit messed up, I reckon. A few people were lucky. Yeah, so Ken was telling us all about it, and stuffed if he hadn't been there only a couple of days before. Yeah, things were crook. But guess what? We had the CFA with us. We were right, mate. So there we were, still climbing up the hill, following along the lads in their bright red trucks. Couldn't miss them. Yep, flashing lights in the lot. Man, what a sight. So we got Den to grab on the two-way and chat up that Sheila Tracy again. She said, it's okay, lads, just keep following. Let's follow. We know where we're going. We're going to Bell. Yeah, I think she had a bit of a screw loose. She could have been leading us to hell for all we knew. But anyway, they seemed to be friendly chaps and they wanted us to follow. So we just kept following. Yeah, had nothing better else to do on a Sunday, eh? So we find ourselves up the hill, up round Clarence, up round the station of the Zigzag Railway. Not a pretty sight, pretty black. Poor buggers. Apparently they're getting ready to run trains again. It'll be a while before they run the old choo-choos round that place. Yeah, oh well. Nothing like a bit of a trip in the country, a bit of sightseeing. Can't be all that bad. Yay, haven't been up this while for myself. Oh look, there's a bit of a smoke around amongst the trees. Should really stop and put that out, but apparently it's not our job today. Somebody else can have that one. Good on you lads. Where would we without the RFS saving us? Yeah. Anyway, what's the pritches? It wasn't a bad show. Done it myself on the old JVC. Yeah, pretty proud of it. Oh look. Look at that. Isn't she good? Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, somebody was playing with matches and explosives. Burn half the country. Silly bugger. Put a guy in a green uniform. You never know what'll happen. I don't know. Some lads.
About 3 or 4 k's east of Bell, you'll see a float and a bulk water tanker where...
So we've been following along the lads from the CFA for a bit of a while now. Yeah, find ourselves up around Bell Railway Station. Guess what? Must have been something really, really wild going on because we kept passing boys in the blue. Yep, shooting around everywhere in cars with lights on. Don't know. Something about a fire. Yeah. Yeah, it's always the way. We've got sandwiches, not snags. No fire for us today. Anyway, I think it was a total fire ban, so lucky we have the Sambos. Good one. That was Ken. Always trust Ken to look after the stomach. Hey, they reckon Dave's the one who likes his tucker. Anyway, wherever the fire was, she must have been a real doozy because, lo and behold, there's fire trucks everywhere. Going up, going down. Lots of guys in the good old yellow. Oh, those RFS dudes, they're everywhere when you need them. Yay, good old RFS, eh? Can't say enough about their praises. Had to be careful too because there's lots of blocks on the side of the road. Half of them were taking pictures, or I reckon I saw 1 or 2 of them pulling up having a junior riddle. Yeah, just on the side of the road. Yeah, be tempted to do an E5 one of those trucks, put the siren on, mate. Yeah, look, passing some more going the other way. Nice friendly blokes, always willing to have a wave. A place called Mount Wilson, and that Tracy Sheila, she was on the two-way, and she said, look, lads, why don't you jump on the back of the truck? Have a bit of a look round. She said, yeah, not a bad view. Bit smoky for me, so I had to don the old gear, mate. Had a bit of a problem with asthma when I was young, so I've got to be careful of these things. But anyway, Wasn't bad. She was right. Was a pretty good view. Ah! So there's me and Cody right along the back of the truck and couldn't resist, eh? Tried one of those selfies that all the kids are talking about these days on the old Facebook thing, eh? Whoa, what an ugly mug, eh? Oh, sorry, Cody. Didn't see you there, mate. So we're driving along. Oh, look at those trees, lovely overhanging. Well, we get a shadow. Somebody joining the convoy like us. You silly buggers. We got no idea what's going on. Look, hey, turns out some guys from good old Canberra got off their fat, whatever they sit on up there. I was going to say arse. Can't really put that in the video, but can you, hey? So they'd gone for a bit of a walk, a bit of a nature explore. They were doing something called Rayco Trail down the valley, but didn't sound much like fun on a Sunday for me, so we just kept going, didn't stop. Heading up the hill. Apparently going up for a picnic. Yeah, as it's known, like me Tucker, so who could resist a picnic, eh? And lo and behold, here's a truck in front of us, and what do? They're squirting water out everywhere. Yeah, I thought it was a driving the country, not stop and have a wee, but anyway, we just won't let them block the progress. We've got lunch ahead. Apparently the lads are from Orange, but long way from home there. Bit smoky. Anyway, I reckon we can find some of those chopper jocks. They'll deal with that down there. Yeah, good. Get their big bucket. Got a bit of water on that. Bob's your uncle. So we went up to Mount Wilson and had a bit of a stop for a Jimmy Riddle and a few other bits and pieces. Bit of a cuppa. Did a bit of cruising around with those nice lads. Yeah, look at that smoke. Somebody's copping it bad, but we weren't doing too bad ourselves. We were poking around, a bit of the wet stuff on the red stuff, if you know what I mean. Yeah, we're doing that blacking out thing. Yeah, blacking out. Ain't she a fun game? Well, prefer to be doing burnouts, but burning's really not something that ought to be happening on a day like this, is it? It wasn't looking good. Yeah, we kept having to stop and have a bit of a bow peek at what was going on further down the valley, and after time I thought, I'm glad I'm not down there. A couple of blokes down there in the orange suits, they're doing it tough down there. Oh, look, boys in the choppers. Mate, don't they do a good job? Make it look easy too. Fly over. Dump a bucket of muck on them and off again for another load. Whoosh-ho! Hey, as it turns out, you know that Sheila Tracy I was telling you about? She had some bloke called Brett along with her. That's not Brett, by the way. Anyway, that Brett dude reckoned we should do a bit of bush bashing. We thought, that's right up our alley. Not much our country boys don't know about bush bashing. So, we thought we'd have a whack at that. And we had Ken, mate. If anybody's good at getting a four-wheel drive through anywhere, that's Ken. We had half a mind, but maybe we were just guinea pigs, eh? Those lads, maybe they didn't want to get their trucks dirty, and we were just along, so why not? Well, how's that for a bit of rock poking out the side of a hill? Yeah. Don't think those pretty boys are getting their trucks down through there. Good old Kenny, reckon we should have blown her off with a bit of explosives, but I wasn't keen on that idea. Some bloke messing around with bang sticks like that, that's what got us in this mess in the first place. Yeah, how about we just keep cruising, dude?
You mate did have explosives. Burn them all. RFS will take all their explosives off. Yeah. Must be the loose rocks there then, knocking them out.
So it wasn't a bad cruise, it was a bit rough. Good old Kenny missed most of the potholes. That's okay. Yeah, we needed something to stir the drinks up anyway.
Well, these car parks worse than this sometimes. Until they fill that hole in.
So we followed that Brett dude round for a bit longer, doing a bit more butch fashion. I had a funny feeling he was leading us up the garden path, but didn't let on to the other fellas, you know, didn't want to scare them. But guess what? Wacky do, it seems. We were in somebody's garden, that is, and he was leading us round the garden path. Oh well, you never know. So anyway, after a while of eating some dust, we decided we might head back to the black stuff. Yeah, we must have done something right, impressed somebody, because lo and behold, those Victorian fellas, they invited us to come back and camp with them for the evening. Who ever thought of that? So we took the opportunity to whack a bit of water in the tank. If we be caught short and out in the bush, you never know what happened. There were a few rough spots around, you never know. We called to do our duty. Troops gave her up, and a few of the lads took a bit of time to do a bit of a sticky beak. She was looking a bit rough in a few spots, I can tell you, but we must have impressed somebody or done something right, because what started out as those blokes laughing at our little Mickey Mouse truck, lo and behold, they'd invite us to come back again tomorrow. Apparently, they might have needed us, which showed them what our little truck could do, and we're starting to impress people. And even invite us to come and camp with them for the night down at Lithgow. Yeah, we were in for that. So after some kip and a pretty good feed and a bit of a laugh and a few shits and giggles, yeah, those lads, they'd brought everything with them from good old down Victoria. They'd brought a truck full of gear and a mechanic dude, so he heard how good we were looking after his blokes out in the bush and make sure none of them had any problems. He offered to go over the old rig for us, top to bottom, free of charge. Well, didn't tell him we weren't going to pay anyway. We were just going to help ourselves with his gear. But anyway, he climbed underneath and a bit of a spray and a brush, and the old machine was good. Yeah, mate, what a piece of gear. Dennis reckoned we should have knocked it off and put it in the shed and not tell anybody, but hey, I think we might have missed it late. I think we liked his truck. But so, yeah, after the horses were checked, so to speak, and all the vehicles were done, almost ready to play. Boys are up for a bit of a horseplay every now and then, not bad for a joke, but that's funny. They decided that we were going to become members of the CFA. In fact, they were even going to christen our trucks and give us proper CFA truck names. Hey, what a joke, mate. What a joke. She was good for a laugh, I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah. You're going to have a big ride now. Let's keep the sun out of the middle. Oh, right. Sun visor. That's right. We should do that. We should do the whole of the Sky car in Jeff tape. Just right across the windscreen. That made no difference. Put it on that one. Don't give away our secret. We'll do that tonight. It's cool, man. Put one strip across it. This is a new GPS.
Head south.
He's like, Becky, look, I wonder what's going. No, we were just going. While I'm doing this, we're going to come up with another Mexican name. Spanish? Jose! What about Jose? They'll be saying, please. Is that the other track?
It's the fourth that counts.
Second lead.
Can you just turn your face this way, mate?
That's cold. I love your sense of humour. You are under
Oh! You better back one of yours up with your
He can't climb up. He can't climb up that high.
Hey, isn't it enough that we ran over your border when they making us climb up that high?
I only sneaked in under the smoke.
He's sitting on 2 boats.
There's a ladder on every truck.
He'd have trouble getting him back there.
Yeah, he would.
That's what milk crates are for.
What to put you in?
They thought they were just when they have fun with cows.
That's right. No, llamas are better. They've got a longer neck. You don't have to get off to kiss them.
They spit. Oh, yes, I questioned what you used.
Do you need to run down the front and check the spelling on the other one?
I know, it's better if they're all different. I spent 14 years in kindergarten to learn how to spell that.
What, me?
That was just after the question. Put your name on top of the paper.
Well, normally my dad signs like this.
I thought it would have thought his name was AU.
That's a real cool speaker.
That's better than what they call him. Hey, you! Say that!
Only Mexicans.
Right.
Left.
Jose!
Now you're testing me, come on.
J.
Starts with J.
Just H-O-S-E-A-H.
It's actually spelled Jesus.
Jesus.
That's probably not a good one.
No.
Alright. Come on.
Or H-O-S-E-A.
Are we discussing it now? Come on. Jose. I see where you're going, so it's still fire truck themes.
Yeah.
Jose, so H-O-S-E. A. Okay. Double A though, I think. It's got to be a A-Y. A-Y. That's the Aussies.
Aussie Mexicans.
Come on, stop making me concentrate so long, you'll pass out.
Brain dirty.
Put a hyphen between it. Hose, hyphen A.
So we're just going hose hyphen A?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hose.
Has to be A-Y though.
That'll be a lot easier to say on the radio. Jose Plan.
Jose!
Now we need to
CFA 2, underneath it says Brett's Mob, we've got to put the Mexicans there.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I've got one more to do.
This is what happens when we get bored.
Yep. And actually, your mission is not only to use the name Gonzalez during one of the radio calls, but when they check in to check that you're all with us, your correct reply is Andre, yippee! Ribba!
Oh, I'm glad Cody's on comms today. We shared a few giggles or two. We thought it was time to get some work done, so we went up to the hills as good country's boy do. So we got out our hoses and put out some smokers. We knew those Victorians, they were funny jokers. There was more laughs to come and a few little tricks. Some of those boys, they're very quick wits. But little did we know that we had a trick. We had sprayers. We're not too thick. We could put in some wet lines along some fences. Hey, we're no dancers. So where we were in some cockie's horse paddock, putting out the smokers, as the boys call it, or putting black it out or something. Black it out, yeah, that's a word. Black it out. And lo and behold, we noticed there's a tree burning. There's a little hole and flames are shooting out the side, like the exhaust pipe on a drag car now. Never seen anything like it before. Can you see it there? Right there, yeah. She was rather interesting. We did have to yell out for Ken, who was out in the ground, to avoid that one. We thought she was a bit of a dangerous thing, but anyway, a bit entertaining. Something you don't always see on the telly or on the vids, eh, kids? But anyway, back on the bushbacking. Yeah, we got a bit of a traffic jam, would you believe, middle of nowhere, and some bloke wants to bring his four-wheel drive down the track. We had to give him a good telling off. Shouldn't have been there. But anyway, back up there, getting a bit of water. Hey, these lads, they like a bit of a drink, don't they? Hey, know what I mean? Not just water. Lo and behold, we met a few of the locals who were up there filling up. And they're funny as we are. Have a look at this, eh? Fancy bringing a truck up here with water tanks, eh? On the wrong side. Who would have thought of that, eh? We almost run over one of them. Yeah, we went out the camera shop. But we were up there and some blokes were doing it rough. Some blokes were doing it smart. Anyway, those Victorians, told you they had more tricks up their sleeve. They got Ken to back up under the sign. You'd never know what they thought would be funny. Or they might have been just a bit homesick. Hey, they got the permission from the old boys in blue. Yeah, they thought those Victorians weren't too bad. We were warming to them.
Eagle Hawk, over. Thanks for that. Cotton tanker from 0200. Cotton tanker, Ben. Your location? Yeah, we're just down at the fill point. Thanks for that. Can you let us know when you're full? Yeah, copy that. A couple of minutes and we'll start heading up. Just hold there with the other of our trucks until we get back to you.
Yeah, just watch out, I don't squash
Okay, copy that.
There is a small ladder there. Oh, it's on that front.
Getting the ladder out. How's that?
Need to back in closer. I'll fall. I'm only short.
We know. Thank you. If you don't measure up this line.
Got to be over that high to ride the truck.
Back a bit. Left hand down and back. So good. Listen to that radio.
I've got it. I'm listening.
You got the camera? Oh, that's not it. Go guys, go. What's your points, Carl?
To do us a bit more driving around and a bit more putting the wet stuff on the red stuff, so we thought, yeah, we'll be in that. We'll do a bit more of just blacking out. We'll get good at it by now. Must admit, our little truck, she held her own. Yep. Even did I tell you? She even did an impersonation of a street sweeper. Press the hell out of those blokes. They wanted to go home and see if they could get their truck to do it. Turned out they had this thing called a monitor on their truck. Now, had me stuffed there for a bit. I thought, what do you want a lizard on your truck for? These guys have been in the sun too much.
First they gave us shit over our little truck and now they're trying to impersonate us.
I think they're starting to see what this little cannon can do.
Yeah.
I think it surprised them us going around the field spraying it.
Yeah, so look, it was a bit like, what? Got hit on both.
But it turns out it wasn't a lizard. This thing they're calling the Monitor was just the most beautiful, biggest water cannon you've ever seen. Whoa, shoot water out the side of the truck at least 30 feet. Made that blacking out thing really easy. I knew we'd hung around with these Mexicans for some.
Mount Wilson, Newcomb operation.
Yeah, operation going, Bill.
Yeah, Craig, would you be happy for the residents to go back into Valley View Road tonight?
At this stage, yeah, I've got no problem. Probably,
You with me?
No. Cool. I stop about there, and if you start blacking out up towards us, and we'll keep moving up the hill for you.
After a bit of hose play, we had to put a bit more water in the old truck, so we headed up to where they had the bulkies stored and pumping around. And it turned out we weren't the only people to play silly buggers with our trucks and naming. Turns out the local lads had felt like they'd done a bit of hard time, and guess what? Naming your truck, a hell brigade might have been through for them down that Bullen Run. So, it's almost the end of my tale, well our tale, about 4 lads from Cowra and how we became honouring members of the CFA. In fact, these buggers had one more little trick up their sleeve. You know what? Have a look at this. Naming trucks wasn't the only game they were up to. There you go, guys would put a name on anything. But we had to get in because we had to teach them one last trick about New South Wales, and we all know that in New South Wales, if it's going to be a bus, it's got to be a Cat 20. So we gave them a name of their own, so they could go home in style. So they had to say goodbye to the Mexicans, and off they went in Vic 20.
We'll get you through the roadblocks.
Go straight through with him.
I'll get out of here now. Hope you enjoyed it. She was fun. It's not every day you go for a cruise in the country and a misunderstanding on the two-way leads you to 2 days of having fun from some nice blokes from Victoria. Hey, catch you later.